Omari Hutchinson is absolutely flying at the moment. Let's not understate how difficult, how competitive the championship is. What Omari Hutchinson is doing week in, week out is fantastic. And the fact that he's just 20 years old, I mean, he has all but guaranteed himself a good quality Prem loan next season.
Will Omari Hutchinson return to Chelsea with Kieran McKenna as potential manager? Join Premier 7 for the short video, which will bring important news.
Chelsea, some names remain. McKenna is waiting for Chelsea. McKenna has a new contract proposal from Ipswich Town. He's not going to accept, at least at the moment, this is the feeling. And also, no interest in closing the deal with other clubs. For example, Brighton have made a really important proposal to McKenna. They want McKenna to replace the Zerbi, but McKenna is waiting for Chelsea.
The gaffer has spoken in a Fabrizio Romano as it relates to the potential recruitment of Kieran McKenna to Chelsea as manager. However, what is the potential possibility for the career of Omari Hutchinson concerning the club that he will represent? Because we know that he's currently playing for Ipswich Town, whereas he has done fantastically well, but could he return to Chelsea? This is the talk today on Premier 7, and as your host, I am always here with some excellent up the sleeve tactical topics for you, the fans. So, of course, I am here to talk about my own Jamaican representative. And yes, we may not want to hear about a Chelsea and a McKenna. We may want to hear about the potential of Omari Hutchinson coming to play for the Reggae Boys. But I think that could be somewhat draining for you, the fans. So I decided to take something different from the shelf. So let's talk about the few things of importance here. I am going to talk about Omari Hutchinson receiving some praise, then the FBREF report based on his performances this season, and of course, what could be potentially a good bond between himself and a Dujuan Richards. That is if a Kieran McKenna becomes the new manager. So people, of course, if you're new to the channel, I would implore you to watch, like, comment, share, and subscribe, as that will do well for the channel here. Premier 7 is not only available on YouTube, but also on TikTok and Instagram. And of course, I am behind the scenes because of the technical issues that I am encountering with Flow, but the hard work still is being executed because the news will have to be shared. And in that case, if you are in love with the contents being done here on Premier 7, you can support the channel by buying a coffee, whereas we can have a drink and say, ah. All right, so let's just jump into the details for an Omari Hutchinson, whereas the praise is concerned. So we should understand here that, Mr. Omari Hutchinson is up for grabs by other clubs based on how well he's been playing for Ipswich Town. But, Ipswich Town has finished second, right behind Leicester. And based on how he's performing, he has drawn the attention of European clubs, like a Feyenoord and an Ajax. So Chelsea faced transfer battle over wonderkid, favored by Kieran McKenna. So Blues starlet Omari Hutchinson enjoyed a sensational season with Ipswich Town, and his exploits have caught the eyes of European clubs hoping to bring the winger in on a permanent basis. So the 20-year-old enjoyed a sensational season with a loan spell, right, at Ipswich Town, and As I've mentioned earlier on, he has helped the club to be back in the Premier League. And it has been for more than 2 decades, based on the news that you're seeing here in the highlighted spot. And the Jamaican international lit up the promotion campaign, securing 16 direct goal involvement, 10 goals, and 6 assists across 44 appearances, as Ipswich Town piped Leeds and Southampton to the Championship's second automatic promotional spot. Now, it is understood that Omari Hutchinson is on the radar of many clubs, but would it be a case for him to leave Ipswich Town and go on a permanent basis? He has a good relationship with his coach in and Kieran McKenna. And if Kieran McKenna is about to potentially go to a Chelsea, going to a different club, it could cause a downward spiral to how he could become one of the best youngsters and catapult his career to become a legend potentially for himself. So we have to understand where as players is concerned with their career, because I don't like when players are good players and then they become flop. And speaking of flop, I don't want for him to be that player. So let me just dive into something important to highlight how well this guy has been performing this season by way of some statistical evidence by way of FBREF report. So we're seeing here that Omari Hutchinson has been doing well as a winger for Ipswich Town, and I think that he himself would want to go back to Chelsea to prove the doubters wrong. For non-penalty XG goals, he's in the 90th percentile range, so he's doing exceptionally well based on his goal contribution. In terms of carrying the ball as well as a progressive carrier, 98%. Successful take on, 75%. Touches, 93%. Blocks, 98. This is absolutely amazing. And this is the reason why Jamaican fans can be a bit upset as well with Omari Hutchinson turning down Jamaica. Let me not say turn down Jamaica, but he's still not making up his mind to represent the nation. But when players are having their head elsewhere, then you cannot force them to change their minds. Even though we know that Omari Hutchinson is of Jamaican descent and he could represent Jamaica, but it may not be for now. It could be for another time, because if he's not going to be called up for England, maybe then he can consider himself as, let me play for Jamaica. See that Jamaicans will more so want to appreciate me in playing for the nation. And in that case, if he decides his mind to play for Jamaica, the potential move that he could have to go to Chelsea, if all goes well, what could be the bond that he could have with our own Jamaican in a Dujuan? Whisper Richards. McKenna is a coach that is known for developing young talents properly. He was at Manchester United before, and he did fairly well, working alongside Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, bringing new youths into the recruitment process into the senior team. And McKenna, seeing that Chelsea is not going to play in big competitions like the Champions League because of what happened today, or the few days for which you're watching the video now, Manchester United has defeated City in the FA Cup. Chelsea will be playing in the Conference League. So that will be somewhat of a benefit for Omari Hutchinson to take his time. I think he'll be under less pressure to represent Chelsea, right? Because Champions League and the big European League, Chelsea is not a part of that. And this could be a win-win for McKenna and Omari Hutchinson if all goes well. Even though it is still early days, I want to let you know that it is still possible, because McKenna has not renewed his contract with Ipswich Town, and he don't want to go to Brighton. He wants to possibly be the manager at Chelsea. It may not be ideal fully for Omari Hutchinson to think that he will play game in, game out for Chelsea because Madueke is the best right winger, some persons would say right now for Chelsea. But coming from the bench and playing in different games, he can cement his spot if McKinnon believes then that he could be the best starter for Chelsea. So there could be a lot more that could be said about Omari Hutchinson in regards to Chelsea, Jamaica, but the bond that he could have with a Dujuan Whisper Richards now could be a case like this. Richards is performing well at the under 21s, and you could carry Richards in the senior team based on how well he continues to play. Maybe he could be a backup to a Jackson if Chelsea don't go for a striker, or if Chelsea go for a striker and Jackson is out of form or is injured, then you could potentially bring in a Dujuan Whisper Richards if all goes well. Whisper Richards and the man in Omari Hutchinson now could build a bond, playing with each other, gaming, but not gaming game out, but in some games, and that now could help Richards potentially to convince Omari Hutchinson to play for Jamaica. Then again, if all goes well with Richards and the Jamaica system. So it is like a merry-go-round, whereas Jamaica is concerned with Richards and a Omari Hutchinson, but rough patches can be gone and the smooth road can come thereafter. Because we're seeing what Leon Bailey is doing now for Jamaica, even though he's not playing, and hats off to Leon Bailey. So what I'm saying here is that I want for Jamaica national team to get better. And Omari Hutchinson is young, Richards is young, and Jamaica have a mixture of older folks with more experience and younger ones who are blistering talents. So having him coming to play for Jamaica is going to be exceptional, and the competition could improve and increase whereas different position is concerned. So people, it is now my time to go, but I just want to hear your say now on the topic. Will Omari Hutchinson return to Chelsea with Kieran McKenna as potential manager? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and you know that I will always reply. Take care and goodbye for now.